Township Gazette. For this reading. We should have this reading. No, Rich has reached out to them. Yes. Yeah.
I requested not my last year.
Unless it's an emergency.
Right. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Like the side door to call him.
I'd like to call to order a meeting of the Summer Board of Selectmen. Today is December 18th, 2025. We're here at Town Hall. The meeting is going to be live streamed. Please join me in a pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So for roll call this evening, we have Selectman Meyer on my right, Selectman Schmidt on my left, Brian Wissinger, our Chief Financial Officer, Kim LaFleur, our Ops Director, Dave Lennart, our Fire Chief, Todd Rowland, our Director of Land Use and Public Works, as well as several members of the Fire Department. We have Ray Stovall, Matt Warden, Tim O'Keefe, and you got to get the three names below you, behind you.
Hey?
Yeah.
Oh, Kyle Bonner.
Okay. Next.
John Elkins.
Okay.
Sean Cotzes.
Thank you. Excuse me for not knowing your names.
That's okay. All right.
But welcome. Public comment, I don't think we have any of that this evening. Presentation by First Selectman, I really don't have much to say other than the fact that this is the last meeting of this calendar year. And I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and look forward to a successful future.
Thank you.
Consent agenda, boards and commissions. Do we have anything there? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the BAA, the chairman of the Democratic Town Committee.
Right, Board of Assessment Appeals. Right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we've got to appoint someone who's been recommended appropriately to the Board of Assessment Appeals to fill a vacancy that was Bud Devlin's vacancy, actually, is what it was.
Yeah, when he passed.
He's passed away. And the recommendation is that we appoint Christoph Eustace to the Board of Assessment Appeals. And that recommendation was made by Terry Schmidt, Chairman of the Democratic Town Committee. And I've checked with our assessor, and she thinks that'll be fine. He's read the rule book. Seems to be an adequate professional to fill the position. And,
He's definitely qualified.
so we need a motion.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely qualified. I'd make a motion to appoint Christoph Eustace to the Board of Assessment Appeals. Then it's the term. What's the term?
It'll be this month because it's before the expiration on 12/22/25, and there you can reappoint him after, or you can just do it now.
Yeah, let's
for the
just
3-year
do it
term.
now.
So you just do it now.
Till 26.
So it'll be two motions.
So it'll be till 26 or 27?
29 will be
It's a 4-year term?
the 3-year term. So
It'll be
Right.
28.
Yeah, it'll be.
So we're just going to
I'm
get into...
No, that would be 28.
28.
28, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we do that.
Okay.
Otherwise, it expires on Monday.
Right.
In 3 years, 2025 to 2028 is
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last time I checked my math.
Yeah.
All right, so I would make the motion to appoint Christoph Eustace to the Board of Assessment Appeals for the term ending December 2028, as recommended.
Great.
As long as we know he's doing both of them. He's finishing this term.
That's what we just said.
Let's put the motion
That's
to
what we
Well,
just
is
said.
that what you're saying?
That's what we got covered.
I just
for
want to
3
make sure it's
years.
clear.
I just said 2028, so yeah.
All right, I just want to make sure that we knew that there's two terms that he's filling.
Gotcha.
Got you covered.
Second.
Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all support say aye.
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 Motion passes. Eustace has been appointed. Opportunity to add urgent agenda items. Do we have any of those tonight?
Think
I have none.
Okay. Finance, transfers and appropriations, none. CFO's finance report and update.
Gave everybody a copy of the fiscal 25 financial statements. The audit is officially completed, submitted to the state of Connecticut. The auditors did issue an unmodified clean opinion on our financial statements. Some of the highlights, I guess you could say, after the planned use of fund balance in the current year's budget, puts us at about a 14.1% ratio, or 1.7 months of fund balance available for expenses. Town's policy is 15%, so we're working this year, making estimates of how to get back there. If we can do it with just the fiscal 26 budget, then there won't be anything in the fiscal 27 budget, but if we feel we can't get back there with the fiscal 26 returns, then we will most likely add a line item to the fiscal 27 budget to generate that revenue to get us back to where we should be. Those policies.
What does that mean? Just explain.
So those policies are important, especially with bonding sources and so forth when we go out to bond. Those rating agencies look at our policies and see what we have in place, and then how we are managing within those policies. If we're not managing within those policies, obviously that's a knock on our ability to raise capital and so forth.
So you think the fact that we're below 15% would affect our bond rating?
I don't think, because it's so close and because it's such a short period of time.
Yeah.
But if we stayed there for, say, the next 2 years, then yes, in 2 or 3 years when we went out to bond again, they would that would definitely be one of their highlight questions.
But the general fund tends to fluctuate, right? I mean, from
Yep.
year to year. So
Yep.
it's not-
I mean, we've been as high as 21%, which is also a negative mark at times. If you have too much, it means you're overtaxing.
We don't want to do that.
Right. So it's finding that fine line of balance and managing within that.
What do we use? So how much fund balance do we use in fiscal year 26?
About 1.2 million.
So we use 1.2 million to balance this budget.
Yep.
So the continuation budget is short 1.2 million
Correct.
because that revenue is no longer available.
Correct.
So it would have to go to taxes.
Yep.
So we have over a 1 mil increase to do a zero.
Potentially, yes. If there's no other new revenue.
And there is no fund balance left available to plug the hole.
Correct.
So we're going to have a really tough budget year.
Yes, we are. Yep.
Very good.
Well, that's good to know.
Out of the audit, there were 2 recommendations. Neither one of them are which give real concern. The first one, they recommended our EMS billing agent, EMSI Services, provide us with an annual service audit so that they can link that to show that internal controls are being followed for the billing and receiving of ambulance funds. I've already reached out to EMSI about that, and they have no issues providing that information to us. And the other recommendation was to use a modified accrual system for grants, because 95% of our grants flow through special revenue funds. We'll basically always use a cash basis of accounting and accounting for the grants when we actually receive them instead of when the expenditures occur. They want us to start accounting for those grants when the expenditures occur instead. So, again, not a major issue. It's the difference between a journal entry on June 30th and a journal entry on July 1st. The pension valuation was completed. I got that received today. We did adopt the new Pub 2016 mortality tables. Those are updates from the 2010 mortality tables that we were using. It's really just actuarial figures for how long people are going to live for. So they base how you're...
Has it gotten any longer, or is it shorter?
I don't know. I'm not it really means a whole lot of nothing to me. When I looked at it, the difference was about $8,000 a year in budget number for the ADEC. And so by adopting the new tables, we were saving about $8,000 a year in the budget. So
all good.
we moved forward with adopting it.
Great.
The Board of Ed did the same as well.
So that probably means you're living less. If the cost is going down, that probably means you're living less.
I'll tell my wife.
The pension plan is sitting at 107% funded ratio, so a very healthy plan overall. Yeah.
Well, thank you. The audit looks good. Thank you. Nice job.
Yep.
And you also gave the same presentation 2 nights ago to the Board of Finance.
Correct.
They thought it was pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah.
You had the auditors with you, as a matter of fact.
Exactly. They come every year. It's actually the first time, though, that they've ever showed up with the audit completed, done, and submitted to the state before they presented to the Board of Finance. So it kind of shocked me when he walked in with a box full of financial statements all bound and ready to go. In fact, he hadn't even sent me the request to do a digital signature, so I hand signed every one of them. So if you flip to the page where in the management letter, it was hand signed and not digital signed. So
Oh, great. Very good.
We also said that over 50% of the towns in Connecticut do not meet the deadline of
Right.
getting this done before the end of the calendar year.
yeah, over half the towns in the state file extensions. So we're done. I think the
Congratulations.
official date was December 16th, I think is the filing date, so not too bad.
Yeah, nice work.
Congratulations.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
And if you have any questions about it, if you flip through there and come across anything that of interest, feel free to reach out and let me know. I'll answer them as much as I can, but it's show.
Bedside reading.
Yes.
Yep.
And also, you've got your budget binders there, starting January 8th is the first budget meetings. Starts with the calendar, and each thing is tabbed in there. They're broken down by department presenting. As we go through them, we'll be able to add more and more documents to it as we go.
Great.
All right. Very good. Thank you.
Presentation of scheduled payments.
I have to make a motion to approve the payments in the amount of $285,540.97.
Second that.
Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in support say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Next on the agenda, updates from boards and commissions. We don't have any of those. Pending business, non-new business. The acceptance of the resignation of David Lenhart, Fire Chief. Great. Chief Lenhart did submit his resignation letter to me 2 days ago, and asked for it to be effective on December 31st. And his contract with the town states that work contract, he has a right to resign at any time, provided that the first selectman be given written notice at least 60 days in advance. So for now, just for purposes of making sure we've got the right parameters on this time frame, I'd like to extend the existing residency requirement by an additional 60 days until March 1st, 2026, just because we currently have a residency requirement that's already been extended by 60 days, by 6 months, upon the request of the chief. And
You're saying it's 60 days from the end of this year? Is that what this
that's
is?
correct.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
correct. Until March 1st,
March
exactly.
1st, got it.
Right.
So I'd make a motion that the Board of Selectmen waive the residency requirement in the fire chief's contract through March 1st, 2026.
Second that?
Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in support say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your service.
A couple of comments I'd like to make here, Chief, is that your performance over the last year and a half has certainly been impressive. The department's in really solid shape. Operationally, we've made improvements. You've had great training as you presented to the department, and they've benefited from that. One of my concerns has been sort of lack of communication with me. I don't know about the other selectmen, but I think you could have presented a clearer picture of what was going on with regards to your residency situation. And I was a little surprised when you presented your resignation letter 2 days ago.
Yeah, I fell on the floor. I was just being sarcastic, but I was surprised. I just thought, because of our last conversation, I thought you were going to see if you could find, a place to live here in town and stay. So that's why I was surprised.
And I just, before our discussion 2 days ago, I'd just spoken to Ray Stovall and Matt Atwood, and they wanted to talk to me about how they're really endorsing the work that you presented to the department and how well things were going. And at that meeting, I also expressed my support and my flexibility in considering extending your contract, asking you to maybe, allowing you possibly to, this would be the Board of Selectmen decision, of course, but to rent something locally if you couldn't buy a house, that we could even maybe provide you some financial support to help that. And I thought I was presenting to you, I thought, a pretty flexible thing to consider. The next day you came back with a resignation letter, which was a bit of a surprise.
I hope you were sitting down when you got it.
Yeah. So, let's see here. So that's pretty much where we are right now. Would you like to say a few things?
I'm sorry, I just wanted to...
I'm sorry.
Just briefly, sorry. No, Chief, I just... I would echo, the comments about your performance First Selectman Keeney made. I've been very happy with the job you've done. I think you've improved morale. I think you've improved communication, not only with our elected boards, but I think also with our finance office and town hall. I think it's been a lot more transparent. I think morale's improved, both career and volunteer, just from the feedback I've gotten, and in the community. So, I think it's been a successful run. I think you've done a good job. I know we had the chance to meet last week, and I don't want to say I was disappointed, but I guess I just, from a personal, I liked having you as the chief. So, I think you've done a good job. So that's all.
The only thing that I asked was, obviously, I had spoken to First Selectman and Mr. Ryder earlier in the day, is that we could set the date, my final date of February 7th, which would be 51 days notice. It would coincide with the end of the pay period to assist with the transition.
Well, Dan, I'd like to make a pitch for the 60 days that
Is 9 more okay?
work contract requires, because that's 2 months. And our last time we went through this process, when we hired you, it took us 2 months to get through the process. And I guess my question to you is, does that make that much of a difference to you? And what are your plans if that were somehow...
Well, obviously,
interrupting.
Right. My concern at that point is I am seeking other employment, and if I gain other employment, I'd like to be able to start that sooner than later.
Well, you have to finish the end of the contract you have with us before you can do that. So when you're negotiating your new position, just let them know when you're going to be available. Okay? And if we're gonna vote for, the 9 days beyond, the 7th, wouldn't be March 1st, but be close, I mean, at least then you could tell the people that whatever that, that it's going to be the 16th of February or whatever that would be,
Yeah, I mean, as we, the first selectman and I have spoken, the way that I understood things was that if I didn't have residency by the 31st, then that would be the end of my tenure here.
I wasn't.
Well, of course, the original residency requirement was up after 12 months.
Correct.
You asked for an extension, the board gave you an extension.
Correct.
I'm sure the board would consider extending it beyond the 31st of December, so it's a little bit naive on your part to think that somehow that was a fixed deadline and you were out of here. Right?
Well, I would have assumed that if there was a solid deadline in the contract, I would go under the impression that that's the deadline.
Yeah.
Well, what happened to the first solid deadline of 12 months?
You guys extended that.
Yeah, so couldn't we do that again?
Well, yeah, but I didn't request that.
All right, well, is it okay then if we do 60 days, though? Is that okay with you?
I mean, again, I'd like to stick to the date of the Saturday.
Yeah, I'm not sure I understand.
What date would you like to go for?
February 7th. It's 51 days from today.
Oh, so you don't want to go the 60th?
No.
You want to go the 7th?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, Chief, would you, and again, I don't know how the other selectmen feel, I mean, would you agree to March 1st with a caveat that if you did receive other employment, that we'd let you out on February 7th?
I don't know. I have to consider that.
I mean, the trouble is we're for a vote tonight,
Right.
is the problem. Right. But I mean, I want to be flexible. I mean, I think we have been flexible. I mean, we met last week and willing to be flexible. I mean, we had talked about even extending the contract beyond the 3 years, I mean, we've been happy with your performance.
Right.
But at the same time, we'd like continuity with the department and time to transition a new chief in.
I think you also need to consider what's best for the department. I mean, should be the bottom line.
Oh, I understand that.
That should be number one in your book, too.
It has been for the past year and a half, but as I'm transitioning out of this role, the need focuses more on me and my family. And I would like the date of February 7th, which is what I communicated to you via email today.
yeah, we got that. Yeah.
But the contract says 60 days.
Okay.
That you agreed to when you came to us to begin with.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. With that,
When did we sign the addendum?
what I'm just saying is, would the extra 9 days be a problem?
I don't know.
Well, you're the one that, you're the one that's seeking a new job and whatever. I mean, would that 9 days be a problem?
I don't know.
I mean, Chief, we'd like to end well. We'd like to end with a positive reference. We'd like to end with, and I think the intention would be to support you, understanding you're moving on. I mean, I'd like to keep you. I think we'd all like to keep you. Probably not going to happen. We realize that. But at the same time, so that's why I'm wondering, I mean, if we were to keep you on until March 1st or February 28th or whatever, with the out that if you received another job, you could leave early on February 7th.
What would the process be?
It'd be the motion we'd make.
Right.
We accept your resignation effective March 1st. However, we would allow the resignation to move to March 7th if you received another job.
I mean February 7th.
That's what I meant. Sorry. February 7th.
We'd like to see something in writing, though, as far as that's concerned. Another job.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to think we could take you at your word, but yeah.
Right.
I mean, I don't think you would deceive us. You've been very straightforward with, I think with information and.
I'd like to stick with February 7th.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
That's fine with me.
What do you think, Bill? I think your proposal is a very fair one. And,
I don't think there's a big deal over 9 days, really, to me.
Again, I think that it sort of meets in the middle, too. If you get another job and you need to start work before the 7th of February, you can do that. So what's the problem?
Well, I just, this is a term I'd like to leave by as.
Yeah, well, you're just telling us what you want. I mean,
I'm saying I'd like.
That's the major problem here.
I'd like to leave
Because
February 7th.
What you want, it seems to be more important than what the department needs. I think that's a problem. In my mind, anyway. I've had several situations in my career where I've had to travel at great lengths and be away from my family, and it's all about the job. You know, if the job is important, you do the job.
Well,
That's been my
I
policy.
understand that, but obviously I prioritize my family.
Well, I mean, my family's important too.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I'm willing to compromise with you, go for February 7th.
I mean, Chief, you're going to commit to attendance every day, and I mean, giving us 100% till February 7th?
I've shown nothing but that.
5 days a week.
So I'm not going 5 days a week. I continually work my 4 days. My contract doesn't say 5 days.
Oh, your contract doesn't say 4 days either,
Well, no, it says that the needs of the
which I think 5 days is appropriate.
okay, then we'll go back to the December 31st date, and that'll be my final day. I gave you notice in April when I signed the extension that said that my last day will be December 31st if I don't have residency, so we'll stick with that date.
I think you're making a big mistake here, and you're not taking into consideration what's best for the department.
And I understand
And
that,
I
but at
think,
this
and I think
point,
you're also reflecting on any kind of recommendation you'd be getting from me in the future with regards to your next job. You might want to think
I'm
about
sorry,
it.
are you threatening me?
No, well, I'm
That's how I take that.
No, I'm just telling you.
Because that I believe is against the law for you to give a future
I'm not
employer.
threatening. I'm just telling you. I think that would be of concern to you.
Yeah.
Well, I think what the thing is, what concerns me is if we don't have somebody to replace you. And that's why the 31st is difficult in my mind, because whether we had somebody to fill in for you at that, and that's why I would like to go to the compromise that you suggested of the 7th. See if we could stick with the 7th. Can we do that? Stick with the 7th?
Yeah, we're going to stick to the 7th with the current schedule I keep.
Yeah, February 7th. And
What's your current schedule? And you can explain that to us.
What's that? I come in Monday, I stay overnight, I go home Tuesday, I come back Wednesday and Thursday.
So you do 4 10-hour days then?
Well, Monday I stay overnight. I'm here from Monday to Tuesday.
But I mean, essentially it would be 4 10-hour
Yeah.
days then.
So you get paid as chief while you're sleeping at the barracks.
Well, I'm a salaried employee. I don't get paid by the hour, so
I mean, I think, again, I mean, I don't want to get too deep in the weeds here, but I mean, I think we could probably live with 4 10-hour days if that's the schedule you've been working, you know, but I want to just make sure that we end on a strong note, you know, we have 100% effort. The department needs it. I mean, it's not about me, it's not about the other selectmen, it's about the department, it's about public safety, it's about our residents. I mean, that's, you know, I mean, I'm disappointed, but I guess okay with accepting it. You know, I don't plan to take you to civil court over 9 days, you know,
Right.
but at the same time, I wish you were here for the 60. But, you know, if we can't,
I just think it's a compromise. That's all. I'm just trying to compromise.
Okay, we'll accept your proposal.
February 7th, is that
February
okay?
7th?
Not 31st of December.
February 7th.
February
February
7th.
7th,
Okay.
with 100% effort till the end, Chief.
I've done nothing but
Just
that.
like you've done. I know you have.
So.
And that would be the expectation till your last day.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
thank
So
you.
I'd make the motion to accept the resignation of Chief David Leonard, effective February 7th, 2026.
Second.
Any further discussion on the motion? All those in support say aye.
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 Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Chief.
Mr. Meyer, you did ask for me to, if I had any suggestions or any input on the application. The only thing I wanted to note is that under preferred qualifications, you list in the next section, I'm trying to bring it up so I read it correctly. Minimum qualifications have a list of preferred qualifications, competent or completion of the state Connecticut Fire Marshal pre-certification program. Since I currently do serve as the fire chief and the fire marshal, either you'd have to create a fire marshal position or require the position to have the fire marshal certification. So that's one thing I wanted to note that when you asked me to look it over.
So
Okay.
you would say we should put that in there?
Yeah, again, it should be a part of a minimum qualification, not a preferred qualification.
Oh,
But we
so-
could, I mean, there's a universe, I guess, where we could appoint someone other than the chief as the first.
Absolutely, you are.
We did have that before as well.
Yeah, just, we said going off of what I looked over
Yeah.
today.
Okay.
So which item was that under the preferred, which one?
The state of Connecticut, completion of the state of Connecticut Fire Marshal pre-certification program and eligibility to be appointed as fire marshal or deputy fire marshal.
Okay,
So that should be a qualification rather than a preferred.
all right, so move that one up to minimum.
Yes,
I think that's a good idea. Just wanted to make sure I was clear on that,
yes. Thank you.
Thank you, chief. Thank you. Thanks for coming tonight.
because that's the next thing we're going to be discussing. All right, so we're going to do the
For our chief job description and
salary range.
salary range.
So, Tim, I can ask you a silly question because I didn't memorize it. What is Chief Lenhart's current salary?
I think it's 120.
123?
120 plus the cost of living increase.
Is it 123, Brian?
Yeah.
So give me a second.
All right. Just,
System doesn't run super fast on Wi-Fi.
yeah,
I think that's what I saw in the budget book.
Yeah, that's what I think it is, but I wanted to verify.
All right, so currently 123K.
It says fire chief 123.
Is that what it says?
Yeah, in the budget book here.
All right, well, if that's
Yep,
good.
that's correct.
So what I'm just saying is that I don't know because I haven't gone out and hired anybody lately, but is that a acceptable range to attract somebody?
Well, that's a good question.
That's, I mean, are
When
we,
they did this job description, Dana did with Brian, I believe, did a search. I have it on.
So
Oh, so
it's
you-
possible it should be between maybe 115 and
They did a
130.
salary survey.
I think so.
Why don't we just make it 130 then? Is that
All
okay,
right.
Bob?
For the
yeah,
top.
I think 130 would be better.
Okay.
But we do a range. That would be the ceiling,
Yeah,
right?
a range,
Yeah,
yeah, of course.
yeah. I just don't want to have it in a situation where somebody then looks at it and says, we don't want to work there because of the salary,
I understand.
Yeah,
Good
makes
point.
sense.
All right.
130?
115.
115 to 130.
115?
To 130.
Yeah.
115.
And then we would set the actual salary when we do the appointment, at
Right.
the recommendation of the first selectman,
Right.
obviously.
Yeah.
After we negotiate with the person.
The salary survey we did recently, I mean, we only had one other full-time paid fire chief that was reported. We can't afford that one.
Now, there's a big variation in that
It was-
based on
yeah,
the size of the town,
It was
based on,
Mansfield, I believe.
Make sure we don't give him a
Actually,
call. Yeah.
Roach.
yeah.
I hear you.
We have no comment.
Well, I do see that there was a list here of
That was just from the last.
prospective candidates, or that was the last time?
Well, this is just from the last time.
Oh, okay, these aren't the people in
No,
the,
those are the chiefs that did the interviews.
oh, okay, so this
I just provided.
isn't perspective for this time, okay. Thank you.
What we did in the process.
All right,
So I had
so,
a chance to review the job qualifications, job description, and I think the only modification I would recommend would be to the minimum qualifications. The first line, bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
I think we should say bachelor's degree in fire science management, public administration, or equivalent experience.
That's right.
And so it says or equivalent, but I think we should say or equivalent experience.
Okay.
And then that would be up to the board to decide what equivalent experience.
I think that's appropriate.
yeah, that's probably good, yeah.
And then I think other than that, I think this gives us the flexibility to, we'll see who's in front of us. I mean, we've talked about paramedic, we've talked about fire marshal, we've talked about some of these other things, but let's face it, I mean, there's probably not a perfect candidate out there, and I think we should see what's in front of us and we can
Yeah.
decide.
Yeah, I think we gotta be a little flexible.
Yeah.
That's the right word, flexibility. You got it.
I think the other conversation for the board is, do we post this internally, do we post this externally, or do we do both?
I think both.
I think both, internally and externally.
You don't want to exclude anybody.
I mean, we'd like to get it, if we have qualified candidates within the current, department, that's fine, but it would be also nice to,
Are there, Ray, you might know, are there any websites, like,
I
the cops have, like, specific websites where they post things where they, like, Don't look for websites
So this
that don't have anything like that.
Is that the one? Okay, that's what I'm going to post that on.
All right, good. As long as there's a place that we can put it out there and
I mean, you don't want to put it on Indeed because you get 400 applications from people that never even fought a fire before. So
I guess my only reason for saying that is, I mean, I think we were in a different situation 2 or 3 years ago, and I know just interviewing the candidates last time, I mean, I think we're in a position now where we have some strong internal candidates potentially.
Yeah,
And,
I agree.
no,
you
but
know,
I think you'll.
would that help to expedite the process if, you know, we posted this internally to see who's qualified, who applies, and if we're not satisfied with an internal candidate, then we would go external. I don't know.
That fits with my preference, which is to
Yeah, I think that's-
hire from within if possible.
yeah, if we got somebody that's qualified and we know they can do a good job, that's good.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm fine with authorizing the first selectman to, you know, I think we'd make that modification
Okay.
for the degree, and then we do an internal posting first, and that would be internal for volunteer and career, so it'd be open to both, current active members.
How long? 30 days?
No, I think 2
I
weeks.
think
2
2
weeks.
weeks.
2 weeks
2
is
weeks.
enough,
I
yeah.
mean, they shouldn't need that long to
Yeah,
apply.
no, I agree.
Internal.
My concern was that the longer you wait, if you don't get a good applicant and you've pushed it off,
Yeah.
it took 60 days last time, we'll be in April again before we.
Right, well, that's what I'm
You're right.
concerned about.
2
yeah.
weeks sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
2 weeks is enough.
So, I mean, I guess what would that put us? Because we do have the holiday, so let's just be mindful of that.
And 2 weeks from today is the 30th.
I mean, we probably post it Monday,
Yes.
so it would be the 5th would be the closing.
could do
I mean,
that.
that is over
Yeah,
the 2 week
Also on
holiday
Monday?
period.
Okay.
Yeah, do it on Monday and go to the 5th. Yeah, that
We
would
want
be
to go to
good.
the 5th or the 12th?
I think the 5th would be good.
The 5th seems okay?
Hold on.
Is that okay? You guys think that's long enough for somebody in your department to,
Yeah, I think that's long enough.
okay.
If there's
well,
internal candidates that are interested?
I like you said the 2 holiday weeks coming up.
Yeah.
Maybe push it to Wednesday or Friday of that same week.
Okay, so maybe we make it the 9th, Friday the 9th?
That's good.
Okay, that's
We're
fine.
okay with that? Good idea.
The closing,
Nine's
so the
okay?
closing date will be the 9th.
All right, we'll go for the 9th.
Okay.
Is that all right? All right. Okay.
Okay.
As long as you guys think it's fair.
So we'd post it internally to volunteers, active volunteers and active career staff. And then we'll see who we get.
Okay.
And then we'll go through a
Great.
hiring process with the board.
Okay.
Okay, so I'd make a motion then that authorize the first selectman to post the fire chief job description with a salary range of $115,000 to $130,000. To modify the existing description under minimum qualifications for bachelor's degree to change that to say or equivalent experience. And then to post that position internally to volunteer and career members who are active, current, through January 9th, the closing day of January 9th.
And posted on December 21st.
And posted on, yes.
I got it.
Okay,
Okay.
thank
All
you.
right, that sounds good. I can second that.
Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in support say aye.
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 Motion passes. Thank you.
Okay, Todd, you're the man.
Good evening. As you'll recall, a couple of meetings ago, we talked about forming a building or infrastructure committee to look at all of these requests we get, particularly for buildings in town, to kind of weed through them and come up with recommendations to this body instead of creating the many ad hoc committees that I've been involved in over the years. After that meeting, I did a little digging and found that in the town charter, we already have a framework for something like this. Chapter 72 of the town charter, which is the special project committee of the town code.
Chapter 62?
Chapter 62, yeah.
Yeah.
It was created back in the 90s. The CFO and I have been talking about this and going back and forth, and we had some changes we'd like to make. They are to raise the capital expenditure amount from $10,000 to $50,000. That would take $10,000 today doesn't buy you a whole lot. It doesn't really raise to a
Yeah,
capital
we
committee.
understand that completely.
Also to change the membership requirements. Currently, the way that it is spelled out is that all of the members have to be electors of the town. We would strike that out.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
We would add one member from the library board, because they're a large block when they have things that they want to get done. We would add one member as the chief financial officer. We would add one member as the director of public works. Remove the 3 at-large members. That would keep the total membership to 7. That would make the membership one member of the Board of Selectmen or their designee, one member of the Board of Finance or their designee, one member of the Board of Education or their designee, one member of the Library Board or designee, when the CFO or their designee, and the DPW Director or their designee. And also, we would have one member skilled in professional building construction, kind of like we do with the school building committee, right, or the HVAC project right now, member at large, if you would, from the town. And we think that would really serve the purpose of having an advisory committee to the Board of Selectmen about these building projects that keep popping up that are significant investments that we're looking at and continue to look at. The town attorney has looked over our changes, recommended changes, and said they look fine to him. I asked him what the next process is, and he said it is up to the Board of Selectmen to schedule a public hearing. We have to post a legal notice for 10 days if you schedule the hearing. Then we hold the hearing, and then after the hearing, you can decide on if we adopt the changes, modify any, or don't adopt the changes.
So if we voted on these changes tonight, then we could also set a public hearing date. Is it correct?
Well, you would be setting the public hearing to have a hearing on the proposed changes.
Oh,
You wouldn't be
correct.
voting on the changes tonight.
We would be voting on
No.
the
You don't vote on it
Just-
until
it's
after
really
the
just-
public hearing
No, it's an
closes.
ordinance,
Yeah.
Okay, vote to just go to the next step.
Vote, if you like what we're saying, vote to schedule a public hearing, then we
And
would
then
hold the public
At
hearing.
that point, after we get the public hearing, then we
Correct.
go
We'll get
to-
public input and see if there's
After
any
the input,
pushback.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, well, that sounds,
We
yeah,
need a
fair
motion
enough.
then.
So the public hearing then would be to propose changes to this ordinance.
Exactly. Yep.
And then we approve it at the Board of Selectmen meeting.
And we would post the text of the proposed
Has to be
changes.
exact.
Has to be
Yeah.
the exact
Well,
changes.
for the public hearing.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. 10 days before the public hearing, legal notices, we'll put it on the town website, Facebook, and we'll get the town attorney to bless the legal notice that we're putting out there. He said it has to be exactly, you have to write exactly
Yeah,
what
it's
you're
got to have the red
proposing.
line
which is
version and
what
everything
we
so
have-
that
which
people
I
can
sent
see the
along
changes
with this.
being made.
Makes sense,
So I
Tom.
guess my only question on this is that, and this looks great, Todd, I mean, I agree, I think, nice job putting this together. So when we say a member of the Board of Selectmen, member of the Board of Finance, member of Board of Ed, or their designee, I guess my question would be, it says, no member of the committee whose membership derived from the membership of the boards, you know, they list the boards, shall be a member beyond the time they're a member of the appropriate board. But it makes it sound like we don't even have to have a board member. I mean, I guess it would, you know, what would be the point of?
Well, our thinking was that you guys are pretty taxed most of the time, particularly all of these boards, and to have another committee, it may be difficult to get members of these boards to attend these meetings.
Yeah, I think it's a good point.
Okay.
So I don't know what your point's well taken. The idea is, yeah, because if they're not a member of the board, then they don't have a term necessarily.
All the rest of it wouldn't apply if they're not a member of the board.
Right. It's just in some of the committees we have, we don't get people coming to them, you know, and it kind of negates the effect of having a member of these boards. But we do think it's important, and certainly they did in the past, having a Board of Selectmen member, Board of Finance, and Board of Education member.
I think you need the actual elected official, and just like the CFO and the Director of Public Works, I mean, I think you need the actual person to be effective.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand there may be a designee for like a meeting or something, but I
Right.
mean,
They wouldn't be voting then if we take that
Yeah,
out.
okay.
Yeah, we could strike out the or designee on
I
that.
don't know, what do you,
That's fine. Strike out the designee.
so we just make it those boards?
Those every board will have to pick somebody that's going to serve on this committee.
Right.
And
That
we
sounds fine to me.
envision meeting monthly, at least for the time being.
And then it would be the CFO and the Director of Public Works?
Correct.
And those would be the voting members?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay.
And then one member of the public.
Right.
And then one
I
member of the
I just
public?
don't know if I can, would be able to attend that meeting, so that's why.
Well, like all of these committees, it's, you try to pick the dates and times that works for everybody, and
Yeah.
sometimes it can be challenging.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm
it's-
sure
I
it is.
understand what you're trying to do. I think it's just tricky, and then,
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, they wouldn't be voting members as a
and
designee.
the idea is you want as much buy-in as possible, I think.
Right,
on the
well, I
actual
think that's the idea of this framework, is you're getting the elected officials and the players in town that are buying into these projects, or not. I mean, the idea of this, in my mind, is that people with these requests will come to this board first.
Correct.
The board will look at it, might even create an ad hoc committee if it's involved. They'll come back, and then if they have a recommendation, then they come to the Board of Selectmen and go through the CIP process versus having these ad hoc committees we creating.
I think that's the way to look at it, John. I agree with you. I think that's makes more sense than have to have one of us be on that.
Well, one of you will have to.
One of us will be on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it would potentially default to the first selectman, just because, on this case, because it's a full-time person.
Right.
But I mean, it could be another member. I mean, like, it's something, I'm on the HVAC committee, I'm interested in this work. So
Yep.
if one of the other two members of the board was willing to serve, fine. If not, the first selectman.
Defaults to the first selectman. Got another meeting.
And then my only other question is for Brian.
Yep.
I agree in raising the threshold. So the expenditure of an aggregate sum in excess of, we're striking $10,000 to say 50 for any one public building project.
Yep.
So I know, like, for instance, when we buy tires for the tractor,
Yep.
the threshold's 10,000 or 5,000?
No, so currently our capital threshold is 5,000 because that's what is best practice by GFOA. So I actually ran this through the auditors. This basically is reading that this committee would not hear projects of that type. Like, they wouldn't come to this committee to say, we need tires for the loader. They would come to
No,
this.
that would be CIP.
Right, but
So this would be a public building project. I
Right,
think it's clear there.
Right, so this would be, people, the
Piedmont Hall
Cultural
project.
Commission
Yeah.
wants
Senior
to
center
do some
project.
updates to Piedmont
The
Hall. They
library
would
board
come
wants to
to
do a
this
gazebo.
committee.
They would come to this committee
present.
first.
Yep.
This committee would hear it, have the questions, do the work. If they believe in it, then they would bring it to the Board of Selectmen,
Which would then
which
trigger the
starts the CIP process, then it has to go through the entire, this body's not going to fund anything.
So we would start to prioritize things, so like firehouse roof,
Right.
school roof,
Right.
school parking lot,
Right.
potentially.
The idea is to kind of flatten out the curve a little bit, like we've done with the fleet,
Yeah.
with all of these projects. And really,
Sure.
my idea is to look at every town building
Yep.
and say, this is kind of the state they're in, this is the known problems we have. These are the things coming down the pike. We should look at a 20-year schedule and come up with an idea on how.
No, I agree. I think we have the same
Do you think we
vision.
can keep the existing ad hoc committees that we've already created?
Yes, because they're already in existence. I wouldn't,
Yeah.
kill them because they're already doing
I
the
would-
work.
I would just ask them to
Come to
start
this.
reporting to this committee first, but rather than bringing a bunch of presentations to the Board of Selectmen.
Right.
Bring it here and then let it all kind of flow through one channel.
Great.
Because, I mean, separately, I think there's some interest, at least from me, in raising the capital threshold from 5,000 higher. I mean, every time you replace a split unit,
Oh, yeah.
it shouldn't need to go through a whole process.
I agree.
mean, it's
I
essentially
agree.
maintenance. But I don't know
50,000.
what would stop us from doing that.
50,000.
Nothing stops you from doing it. As far as GASB standards are concerned, it's still going to be a capitalized asset because it's over $5,000. Nothing stops you other than our internal policy where we have it set at
But I
$5,000.
mean, we should probably raise it to like 15,000
I
or
agree.
something.
I agree. It's a Board of Finance decision. It'd be something that it's within their finance policies, but it's definitely something that we can bring to them in the coming months.
Separately.
Yeah.
So you'd say 15 to 50
No. Right now we're at 5.
for 5?
I would say either 10 or 15 to even be considered capital. Otherwise, we run it through operating expenses.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is for Stroley buildings, this ordinance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
Exactly.
last time we did tires for the tractor,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know that every time Todd needs to buy a tire,
Well,
it costs more than
I agree
$5,000.
with you. We don't have to.
It needs to go through a 5-step process.
Right.
All right, we can do 15 then.
Because that limit was probably set in like the 80s when $5,000 bought you a lot more.
Exactly.
This was set in 1996, and I did the math online, and $10,000 then is now $20,540 today for what you can buy. So, and even then, $20 grand doesn't get you much in a building.
No.
Not many tires.
It doesn't even
Right. Your
buy
tires were more than that.
The tires for the loader was more.
So.
Than
75.
All right, so I'd make a motion, the Board of Selectmen set a public hearing. What date are we thinking?
Well, later in January,
Yeah,
because
I
you're
was
meeting
thinking
every
like the 22nd.
the end of January.
So we're meeting every week, so we could do like 7 p.m. or something?
Yeah. I was
Right,
looking
you
at
had one that
January
was a pretty-
22nd
yeah.
or January 29th. Either one of those days I think is good. Just
So
based on the
after
budgets that
one
are
of
being
these
heard
meetings.
those nights.
So it'd be after one of these meetings?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Kim, what is the better for North?
Either one, 22 or 29.
So let's do the 22nd then. So I'd make a motion, the Board of Selectmen set a public hearing for January 22nd, 2026, regarding the proposed changes to Chapter 62, the Special Projects Committee of the town ordinances, and with the following modification of the proposal in Section 62-3 to strike the word "or designee" from the appointed members in Sections A through F. And otherwise to post it as written.
Great. Second.
Second, I have the second then.
Any further discussion on the motion?
So the 22nd would be the first time we would,
Public hearing.
or it'd be a public hearing.
At 7
Right.
p.m.
No, that's the fire department is interesting. That's when they're doing their budget.
No.
I just happened to look at it. That's,
No, it's not.
well, then why did I have it in there? Is that?
I don't know.
Don't ask me.
Well, I must have made a mistake when I put it
Town
in.
hall offices.
Town hall is on the 22nd. That's why.
Oh, town
That's
hall
why I
is on-
recommended that day
Not
because
the-
it's,
not the-
town hall offices are going to
Town
take
hall.
8 minutes.
All right. I don't know why it ended up.
Right, now we're gonna sit here for an hour.
I don't know how. I didn't put these in there, but it ended up being in here. You know.
I probably copied from last year then.
Is that what it was? Copied
It's
from
likely
last
from
year.
copy over
All
from
right.
last year.
But you're going to give us a schedule anyway.
It's in your book.
Right here, page 1. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
All those in support of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Oh, I see.
Thank you, Todd. Nice work.
Yeah,
Town
thanks,
hall
thanks for doing that, Todd.
Sometimes he gives us a tentative schedule and then it changes based on availability too, so.
I did have a question though. It was about the job description, the recommendation that the chief made. Am I changing that in there? or-
No.
Okay, I did. Okay.
We have the flexibility, I think,
Okay.
because we could appoint a fire marshal who's not the
Okay,
chief,
well, that's what I,
if needed.
okay, I just want to make sure.
Because the chief's also the EMD.
Right.
So, I mean, that would be another conversation, I think,
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
this
that's another
board.
conversation.
How do we fill those three roles, chief, EMD, and fire marshal?
Yeah.
It could be the chief, it could not be the chief.
Okay,
I've got some ideas.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure that was. Okay, thank you.
Okay, next on our agenda is the approval of the Sky Elements contract.
Yep.
Brian.
So the America 250 committee, I want to say back in October, met and approved the drone show for the America 250 celebration. Sky Elements presented their contract. We sent it to legal. Carl had a couple of changes. They honored those changes and sent it back to us with those changes. We met with the Board of Finance on Tuesday and briefed them on it. And they are they're okay with it as well as far as funding goes. So we're now looking for approval of the Sky Elements contract for the drone show at the America 250 celebration and authorizing the first selectman to enter into the agreement.
And I have been in contact with David Pinney, who chairs the ad hoc committee, and they had a meeting last night, and they're talking about putting together a solicitation letter for fundraising. They're talking about setting up meetings with various individuals who might want to contribute significant dollars. And they're also considering appointing a subcommittee to do the fundraising, which I told them I'd volunteer to assist as well. So I think things are moving along. It's just that because of the need to lock in outfits like Sky Elements, we need to do it.
No,
Yeah,
I
if
think
we
it's a good idea.
wait too long, the date gets taken away, and then we're out and we're
So
starting.
there
at
is some
scratch.
risk we won't raise $1, but I'll bet we will raise $1.
Yeah, but I guess the only concern, and I agree with what the first selectman said, I think we are going to need to lock in this date, and I think it's going to be a great thing, but I think the concern is that there's a financial cost, and even if we were to cancel after signing, there's still a penalty, and there's no appropriation right now to cover that.
Well, we put it in the budget, though, for next
Yeah,
year.
it would be in the budget, yeah.
Yeah,
But
put it in the budget.
And we did talk to the Board of Finance about that as well.
So, I mean, I'm fine supporting it, but I think it's just with that understanding, because if we get into a tough budget situation,
Yep.
we're going to be obligated to kind of fund that. you know,
Yep.
if they can't fundraise, which I'm hoping they can, and I think they can. But,
Right.
okay,
See what happens.
so I'm fine. So we can make the motion. You want to make it, Bob? So?
Yeah, I'll make the motion to approve the Sky Elements contract for drone show at the American 250 celebration and authorize first selectman to sign the agreement.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion on the motion? All those in support say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Approval of the minutes of December 4th meeting, regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen.
I'm all set with them.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with the minutes.
Yeah, we've gone over it. Needs a motion.
Yeah, I hope you make a motion to approve the minutes for the regular meeting on December 4th, 2025.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in support of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Make a motion to adjourn.
We're adjourned.
Okay.
4-7.
55.